Welcome to another episode of the Smith Boyer D podcast with no Boyer D today. I'm Joey. We got Jared here. How's it going?
It's going good. Going good. How's it going?
Got sunny and beautiful. About 70 degrees today. Supposed to get to 85 tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
They're pretty much saying that Seattle's the new LA.
Yeah, I think I've heard that somewhere. So.
Yeah, straight out of my mouth. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty good. So what do we got? What do we got today?
Not a whole lot, you know. Got I don't know. We got the NBA playoffs going. The Wolves advanced to the next series, which is cool.
Yeah, and now that we have forced Will out of this podcast and it's just us, we can talk as much sports as we want.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, the NBA, what a joke. What a joke. I mean, like, even baseball is a long, grueling sport, but at least there's, there's still action and there's suspense, like, extra inning games, bottom of the inning home runs to win the game, whatever, bottom of the ninth, like
right.
NBA, there's just none of that. Like, there's no defense. There's just and it's like, I mean, we don't have to say it because it's been talked about so much in the last 5 years, but it's so soft in the regular season. It's like,
well, it's crazy, right? Because I don't watch the regular season. I watch playoff basketball, and it's crazy to me how much flopping there is. Like, it's crazy. Some people get tapped on the head and they just wail their arms and fall back. So,
LeBron.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot more other players doing it now too. So
yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I miss the '90s. I miss. The people from the '80s probably really miss the '80s. Like, I mean, the '80s and '90s, going into the '90s, you had like the bad boy Pistons and stuff, and people just knocking you out. I mean, I remember watching the Pacers in the '90s, and you had the Davis brother. What was his name? Antonio Davis and Dale Davis. And man, you came down. They had one job, and just to lay you on your back. Like, I mean, yeah, you don't get that anymore. Dennis Rodman was a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's unfortunate. And then it's funny because then you get into the playoffs, and then the scores get less, the defense gets more, and it's like, why should we have to sit through 82 games to figure that out? Like, that's another thing. Like, the Sonics are back here in Washington. I don't even know if I'll go. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I would probably go to a playoff game if they ever made the playoffs, but it just doesn't. I think the last time I went to a basketball game was I took my girls down to Portland to go see the Trailblazers because obviously when the Sonics left, we didn't have a team, and so. And then I was taking my daughters to see some Storm games and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely won't go out of my way to go watch them. But
no. But yeah.
And then you got switch things up over into golf. I don't know if we touched base on this last week, but Scheffler took second place at the Masters and then at the RBC last week and took second again. Like. Golf is the only thing, well, maybe NASCAR, because NASCAR is based on a point system too, but golf is one of the few sports that, and I'll probably get roasted, but NASCAR is not a sport, but anyways, even though they think they're athletes, but, golf's probably not either, but it's one of the few activities or sports that, like, if you're a top 5 finisher, you're doing very well. Like,
Right.
You're getting paid handsomely, and he's on pace to shatter Tiger Woods'. Like, if he can hold on to like another 12 years, he will shatter his top 5 places. Now, Tiger's way ahead of him on the number 1 overall because Scheffler always seems to be around that top 5, right. And Tiger always seemed to win. He won a lot of tournaments. I mean, he was just he seemed to always win. So I don't think he's going to get Tiger there, but. Top 5, he's gonna totally shatter him, which is crazy to think about because Tiger won so much, And it just shows you, like, Scotty Scheffler is always in it. Like, he can be down. What was he down? He was down. He was even, and Rory McIlroy was 13 under.
13, yeah.
At the Masters.
Back, yeah.
Like, all Scheffler had to do is play a decent game the first 2 days, just a little bit better. And he would have taken another Masters home. So, yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Well, they're playing this weekend too, right? There's a tournament.
I don't know if he's in it. Sometimes they take a week off between, and I know Scotty played 2 weeks in a row.
I thought I saw his name in 4th place.
Really? That wouldn't surprise me.
Oh, he's tied for 5th right now. He was in 4th.
So. There you go. Top 5 again. I mean, we'll see how it turns out tomorrow, but yeah, what an unbelievable player. And it's crazy. The crazy thing is like, if you think about it, after Tiger, it was like, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy. I mean, Brooks Koepka, I think, was somewhere in there at one point. Jason Day, all these players, and it was like everybody was just clamoring for the next Tiger. Oh, he's the next Tiger. He's the next Tiger. Was it Bryson DeChambeau was in there for a little while? Oh, this is the next upcoming star, and Adam Scott, I think, was at one point, even though he was kind of still in the Tiger Woods era, but he was more of a competitor, I think, to Tiger Woods. But anyways, I guess what I'm saying is everybody's always clamoring, like, when's that next Tiger? And nobody saw Scheffler. He went under the radar for, a year?
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
No, it's crazy.
Yeah, but he's still lighting it up. What else we got? Sonic's back. Yeah, I had a funny one that I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of like, and this one can kind of be like, this would be more like, since we're in construction, it would kind of do with their construction background, and there's like, I don't know what you would call it, like misnomers, or like you see stuff on commercials and stuff, and it's just hilarious, like, to a construction worker when like in the old days, you'd watch Bob Vila or something, and they would like, "Oh yeah, that's so easy." And you're like, "No."
This old house.
Yeah. And now there's all these DIY shows that make it look so easy. They throw a sledgehammer through the wall, and the whole wall collapses. It's like, nah, that's not. Like, there's no wires even in there, and you see outlets in the walls. You're like, I don't think that's correct. Like, but yeah. So, anyways, what got me thinking about it was there's always a new paint, whether it's Home Depot, Lowe's, or whatever. Like, they're always coming out, and they're like, and it seems like every couple years they're like, a 1-coat paint. You don't have to worry about 2 coats anymore. And here's what the most funny part about it is it seems like they come out with some kind of Sherlock or some kind of Surecoat, like, or super paint or whatever. Like, they come out with one like every couple of years, and it's like, okay, so was the last one not a true like 1-coat paint? Like, anybody who knows, like, who's ever hired a painter, they're putting 2 coats on. If you have a good professional painter, they're putting 2 coats no matter what. Like,
yeah, even that primer paint in one. I mean, you're still putting on at least 2 coats. So.
Yeah, because when you look really closely, and this is your own home, and you want good quality in your own home, and you look at the brush strokes around all the cut-ins, you see those. Like, you don't see those if you do 2 full coats and you put it on, decent, like. But it just cracks me up. They're like, oh, get rid of the primer. Oh, get rid of the backache of doing 2 coats. It's like, and then here's another one that cracks me up. If anybody's ever painted in their life, they know that masking is like 90% of the job. Right. So like, is it really saving you that much time, not having to put that extra coat on? It's saving you a little bit of time, but not what they're making it out to be. Like, you will always have to put 2 coats of paint on the house. If you hire a professional, if you do it yourself. And if you don't, it's fine, but you go up to it and you look closely, you will see, they call them holidays, where you see the paint underneath it or the primer underneath it, and you don't see a good coating over it. And so, yeah, anyways.
What really cracks me up is like these Facebook, social media stars or whatever that do the DIYs, and it's like, being in construction and learning the trade, and it's like, they're a bunch of fucking hacks. They just like they hack the shit together, and it looks like shit. But they just do it for the views, you know.
Yeah, or they're like, "Oh, look what we did. We stayed up all night," and you see the day before and then the day after, and there's like a, all the tile in the kitchen's done, all the cabinets are in, the countertops are in, and then they give like no thanks to everybody. There was 30 people in that house that night getting that house ready. Like unless it like truly wasn't one night and it took them a week. Like there are just some things that you cannot physically. Where you have trades stacked on trades that you cannot physically get done, they show it. It's all shiny and everybody's like, "Whoa, how'd they do that?" And it's like, all right, well, there's a couple guys sleeping right now at home, like that put in all the work, and it's like
taping, even drywall. I mean, you can't do that shit overnight. You got to let the mud dry. You got to sand it, texture it.
The only way that they can do that is if they do it all with hot mud, which dries fast, and it doesn't leave the best product because it doesn't sand. And so and there again, it's hard because you got to clean your tools after every coat, so it's like otherwise it dries to your tools. So it's like the only way that they could like on the extreme home makeovers, like the only way, like you said, they could do that is if they did all hot mud and then they did their finish coat and then they put 100 fans in that house to like make it dry within like 3-4 hours. But yeah, it's near impossible. And then the other one I like is this is along the same lines of painting. Is I saw there's another commercial. It's kind of weird how these things work out. So then there's another commercial that comes on last night, and it's shirt tape. It's Scotch Blue Tape's best paint tape ever.
I've seen it. Yeah.
So like there's a trick to painting. Like you get the brush a little wet, and you know, so it's kind of not almost dry, and then you cut in next to the tape, and then that kind of seals the tape off. Like they don't tell you that. They're just like if you use blue tape correctly, you can have a perfect flawless line. But I don't care what kind of tape you have. If you take your roller and you saturate that tape, it's gonna bleed in because it's gonna lift. And it's funny, they're like, first tape ever, and they show them like rolling over it and then pulling it back, and I'm like, that is not how they did that. Like it's just funny. I don't know, like it's frustrating too. Like, so you know, like we're in construction, I'm not a mechanic, and sometimes you see things like, you know, to do on your car and it's so easy, and it's not. Like, you know, I don't know, I wish they wouldn't like false advertise like that. I mean, I know they're trying to sell a product, but it's like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I worked with like, you know, old school painter where he'll put his tape and then he'll run a bead of caulking and kind of smear it out on that tape line.
Yeah.
And then a nice crisp line too.
But yeah. Painters got some nice little tricks. Like everybody thinks, paint. Like they have an apprenticeship. Yeah. Like I don't know, man. Some of the miracles they work on our jobs is pretty incredible. But yeah, no, and then, you know, there's another thing too, and it's funny, is like, you know, and I don't want to get fired from my job, so watch how I say this, but it's funny, like with like certain people, and like, how can I say this without, their expertise on construction is subpar, to say the least, and it's like, and they get these jobs as like, you know, whether I don't know, maybe as an inspector or whatever, and like they never step foot on a construction site. Even with safety, sometimes like they took an OSHA 300 class, and now they're a pro on safety, and it's like, and it's funny when they come out to a job and like everybody around them knows that they know completely jack about construction, but they're in charge of implementing how you do things, safety, inspections. I mean, they're there assisting to get that project complete in the right fashion, and they don't know anything about construction. Like, it's so crazy. Like, could you imagine, like, you go into the hospital and they're like, you have cancer, we gotta operate and remove the tumor, and you're like, oh fuck, what's my chances? And the doctor's like, I don't know, let me go get my consultant. And like, he goes and gets him, he's like, what's his chances? Well, I read a couple books. I don't know. Like, I mean, like,
Right.
in what world do we live in? Like, if you're gonna like build a construction project, like, or be a part of a construction project, you should have some kind of IQ in construction. Like, I don't know.
Well, I know when, a lot of jobs I was on, and the architects they're notorious for that shit. Well, it works on the drawings. It should work out in the field. Well, fuck no, it doesn't. Like, come on.
Constructability.
Yep.
Yep.
Just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean it's going to work out in the field.
Yep. Or an engineer.
Or, yeah.
Oh, well, it's easy. You just put these bolts here and that's it. Oh, okay. Yeah. What about the other 5 things surrounding it that I got to tie into? Oh, well, how doesn't it work? Well, let me draw you a picture.
Right.
You end up drawing a picture and you're like, wait, this isn't even my job. I'm just supposed to build it. It's like, yeah, no, I think it's funny. I think it's fascinating with construction. Like I said, like you don't. I mean, like if you had lack of confidence and like, and I get it. Not everybody's in construction, but people need things built, and so you're not always gonna. Like, I don't blame an owner for not having, like, that's where, like, that's where the contractor and owners can get screwed over pretty good because the owner or the construction company can do just a terrible job, right?
Right.
And so they hire somebody to like run the team, and that's understandable. But you would think that they would like. You think they would vet? I don't know. You think they would like have a way to vet them to like ask them some questions, like some trick questions to like see what their actual knowledge is? Because I mean, sometimes you deal with people like they literally have no clue how something's built, and it's like
right out of college, and
yeah, and it's like you're here telling me that I'm doing it wrong
right.
or doing it right, but you don't know like how is that beneficial to an owner? Like if I was building a house and I knew nothing about construction and I hired somebody, and like a house is different than I guess
Right.
commercial because you just hire probably a contractor by yourself and either get hosed or have a nice job done. I mean, to be honest, but and so you're relying on that construction company to give you the advice that you need to build a proper house, and so you don't have that extra knowledge, but. I would think if I'm building like a multi-million-dollar job and I was going to have like some kind of team in place to make decisions for me and to assist me, that I would make sure that they know their shit. Like, yeah.
Yep.
So hopefully that doesn't ruffle any feathers, but I don't know. That's from prior knowledge. That's like prior situations. Definitely not. Yeah. So
you got the parents out there visiting now.
Yep. Just hanging out. Did a little Costco this morning. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 75 today. I'm gonna get out and weed whip and mow the grass, I think, after this, and then yeah, not much. Just hang out.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe cook a little brats tonight or something. Yeah.
On the barbecue.
Yep, rice and sausage. Taking a note out of Will's book, except without the rice.
Yeah.
So, like, do you think it was pretty bad that we fired Will in the way that we did? Like, do you think he'll get over it, or
I think so.
do you think that there's people out there wondering where Will's at right now?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think he's all right though. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're only taking away like 2.5 million from him per week for kicking him off these episodes. I mean, now that we're making 10 mil a week, like, yeah, it's cool though. So Mariners got back on track.
Yeah.
They were looking real grim there. God, they can't start a season at all. I mean, that's.
And I'm actually. Cal Raleigh's still on slow right now, but Julio's off to a pretty warm start, which is good to know. 'Cause he usually doesn't come out until All-Star break or after.
Yeah. Well, if they can get a Rosarina
Yeah.
Julio and Cal all going, and Naylor. I mean, they got 4 good bats. Like, yeah.
And their pitching's, I mean, one of the best in the league. So.
By the way, shout out Cafe Elite, not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
I mean, Rosarena's hitting, 270, so, I mean, he's not doing horrible.
Yeah, he's doing all right. Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, Raleigh needs to step it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, what else was there in sport? I felt like there was another thing I wanted to chat with, but... No, I guess
Draft
that was
last weekend.
yeah. We kind of brushed over it. The one I was going to talk about was the Sonics, a little more in depth. Like, I don't know, man. Like when the Sonics left, like that was a stage in my life where, like, because I watched basketball nonstop as a kid, and that was a point where the Sonics were, or not the Sonics, but the NBA as a whole, like they were like, oh, you know, we want you to wear suits on the sidelines because you're representing kids. Like, kids look up to you guys, and they're like, no, like, we want to wear what we want. Like, there's such a difference between the NBA and the NFL. Like, and I don't know what it is. I like how can the NBA be so? I don't know. I don't want to use the word gutless because I feel like that sounds like a prick, but they're so gutless. Like, in the NFL, like, is so direct. And, you know, like, now, I will say, like, Kaepernick probably shouldn't have been phased out the way he was. But there was a little collusion there. Like, nobody can second guess that whatsoever. Like, 32 teams never called him for 4 years. Like, that's crazy. But I will say, like, you know, the NFL, like, took a stance, and it's like, this is what we're doing. Like, whether they're right or they're wrong, I'm not agreeing with all of their issues, but what I am going to say is, like, they're very firm and they're very direct, and what they want goes, or you're out. And for some reason, the NBA, they can't do that. And I think they've driven away a lot of fans over the years. I mean, you look in the stands during the regular seasons, and it's not just the play, but it's I think people are just tired of it. Like, I think they're tired of the production they're putting out. I think they're tired of, like, there being no discipline, or very little discipline. I mean, look at the NFL. If a guy goes out and hits his girlfriend away, like they may get another chance, but if you do it twice, you're gone. Like, you're barred. Like, look at Ray Rice. Ray Rice, you know, his was awful, and they were like, you're gone. I mean, they don't mess around. NBA wouldn't do that. NBA might suspend them for, 10 games, and then, like, the next one do 20 games. Like, they have no balls. I don't know.
Even if you get, like, a fucking DUI in the NFL, you're suspended for 4 games minimum.
Yeah, and you get a second one, you're probably out almost a year. I mean, right. they take their reputation very seriously, and the NBA doesn't. And I guess where I'm going back to with the Sonics is this was all happening, like, around the time of the Sonics leaving, and then, like, when they everybody blames Howard Schultz, like, the Starbucks owner, for selling the team. What people forget is when this all took place, they gave the city of Seattle and we have more millionaires, I think, than anybody besides New York. I think it's pretty crazy, like, how many executives and big wig companies we have out here with all the money. There's no shortage of money, and he announced that he was going to sell the team, and that they were probably going to be sold to a company out of state. And I remember this, and a lot of people said no. He sold them straight to him. No, he gave us a chance. Not us, but he gave Seattle a chance. And there was like a 2 or 3 month window that nobody stepped up, and nobody offered to buy the Sonics to keep him here. And then as soon as Clay Bennett bought him, then everybody started raising their hand. I'll buy him. I'll buy. It's like, dude, the sale's already done. Like, what do you? And so what's funny about this is, and you guys can call me wrong, and you can probably fact check this and go ahead. And I don't know how much of this is recorded or not, but I swear to God, like I have a fairly good memory, and there was a time there where anybody that had money could have put together a proposal to buy the Sonics, and they did not. And you know what's funny is everybody blames Clay Bennett. Everybody knew when Clay Bennett bought the Sonics, they were gone.
Yeah.
And everybody blames Howard Schultz, and it's like
OKC. Like, I mean,
his whole deal was he was going to bring them to OKC. Howard Schultz, I don't blame him. He just like there's people that like ban themselves from Starbucks over this, and it's like he sold the team. Like he's not going to sit there for 20 years and wait for a in-house buyer, in-state buyer that's going to keep him here. Like I feel like he gave him ample opportunity to be bought and to be kept here, and nobody stepped forward, and so he sold him to Clay Bennett. And then a lot of people blame David Stearns, and now I don't remember how all that went down, and so I don't know how much of that's to blame. But I mean, how much ability does he have if he's told by Howard Schultz, I'm selling the team, and it gets approved by owners? Like everybody says that he wanted him out. Seattle was a major market team back then with Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. Like there was no reason to move the Sonics. I don't know. I have a tough time believing that it's anybody. I have a tough time believing it's anybody's fault but Seattle's. And
I mean, we had Kevin Durant coming in that year. I mean, it was
yeah. You had we didn't have a good supporting cast. I mean, like we had like Ridnour and I don't. But the next year, I mean, I think it was the next year was when they got Westbrook and Ibaka but yeah, so that's kind of like where I'm at with the Sonics. Like, I mean, yeah, it's cool that they're back. Like, I wouldn't mind maybe going to a game eventually, but I went to the Key Arena. I don't know how many times I watched games. Like, I was a huge basketball fan, and then it just was like one thing after another. Like, the players demanding what they're going to do on the court, and the NBA like having no backbone, and then the whole Sonics thing, and then everybody like, we're not going to Starbucks, or Clay Bennett. Yeah, it's like, all right, like we didn't help our own cause, and it also didn't help that we couldn't get legislation to pass a new stadium either. Right. Like there was a lot of fault with our government, and just I guess yeah.
So is it a solo ownership now, or is it a group ownership that's bringing this on?
I don't know. I'll have to look. I don't know if that's been announced. I think the only thing that was announced was that they are allowing 2 expansion teams, and I think they announced those as Vegas and Seattle. I don't think we know anything yet about. On the sports radio, I've heard a little bit. I think we have like an understanding or an idea of who, and I'm sure it's going to be a group. I doubt it's going to be one single owner. But yeah, I don't know that it's been announced, but I could be wrong on that. Because I don't watch a lot of news and.
But they'll be playing a climate pledge.
They'll be playing a climate pledge, yeah.
Because I know for a while there they were talking about they wanted a new stadium in Soto, but that fell through. But that's why they did the whole renovation on the Key.
Yeah, but it's like, how long is that going to last? Like, how, So, what, Climate Pledge was built, when did that open? 22, 21?
Yeah,
something like that?
21, yeah.
So, that's not even a new arena. And so, like, you look at the Circle of Life, I almost started singing Lion King. You look at the cycle of an NBA, like, arena life, and it's like, 20 to 30 years. And so this one was a renovation, so it's not new. And not only that, but it's already like 4 or 5 years old, maybe more. I can't remember exactly, but and so like, are we gonna be dealt with the same thing? Like I think they just need their own arena. I mean, and I think we would be dumb to not do it now. Like to not. I say we, like I'm involved with the money, but whoever buys the team, whoever the ownership is, they would be dumb not to start looking at a site and to build their own arena, just to not give the NBA any type of leverage later on to get them out of here, if that makes sense. Like I don't know. I don't know what their contract is going to be like, if they're going to have like a 20-year contract with Climate Pledge Arena or what. But if I'm them, I'm signing the contract and then I'm starting the groundwork. Like, just knowing that in 15, 20 years, the NBA is going to want to see a new arena. And the way that Washington sat on it last time, like, yeah, if I'm them, I'm starting on it right away. Like, I'm not waiting. But yeah.
What else you got today?
Oh man, I don't know. We got, with Will gone, I just have no guidance. I don't really know where to go, what to do. I did talk to him last night and told him I'm sorry that it had to go this rate, but yeah. What else is going on in North Dakota?
We took Brian's new boat out this morning.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was a quick trip, So it's a jet, it's a jet boat, jet powered.
Yeah, inboard.
Inboard. But I think the jet cleanout plug wasn't seated right, because it kept like bogging down and then RPMs wouldn't go up, so it was running kind of rough. So we kind of just took it out right away. So he called the dealer where he bought it from, and we're gonna talk to the techs on Monday, see what's going on.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, you would think, a $30,000 boat, they'd have it all.
Well, was it bought from like a dealership? Can he take it back and like have them fix it?
Yeah,
I would take it back.
No, yeah, he's going. Well, yeah.
Or not take it back, but I'd have them fix it for free. Like, he shouldn't have to pay for that.
No, he.
That's
won't.
a brand new boat.
Yeah,
okay.
He's gonna. That's why the salesman's gonna talk to the tech on Monday and kind of tell him what happened and see what they can do.
Okay. Yeah, I finished my 911 Austin last night through season 5, so now I got to start 911, the OG version. There's like 4 different 911s?
I haven't really got into any TV shows recently.
I got to, because my new, like I used to just stay up until like whatever, but like my new thing is like I try to lay down at like 7:30, so then by 8:30 I'm like tired and I'm out. Like,
right.
And so the way that I do that is I watch a couple TV shows, and so I gotta have a show that's like that I've never seen before, but it's got like multiple seasons. 911 also was pretty good. It had Rob Lowe in it. They did some stuff though that was like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. They're the fire department, right? And so like, it's funny. Like, they get a call, and do you know that? I can't think of his name. I'll try to describe him. Tell me if you know who he is. He always plays like a bad guy on all like the cheesy films. He's got the short blonde hair, like the bleached blonde hair almost looking, and he always plays a bad guy. Like, and he's in like all the low budget films, like. But anyways, so he's the police officer. It's funny, like they're the 126, right? That's whatever. And so they're like, we got a high speed chase and pursuit, and then Rob Lowe's like, 126 coming in, and like the fire truck just bombs by him like at 100 miles an hour, and you're like, all right, I don't even know if this fire truck can get to 100 miles an hour, let alone pass all these cops. Like, they're passing all these state patrolmen, and they're like, what do you think you're gonna do with that fire truck? And he's like, we're gonna box him in. And it's just, I mean, it's like I get it, it's TV, like you gotta make it crazy, like to keep people watching, but it's just so fun. It's like, come on, Rob Lowe, you're better than that. Like, you're not Jonah Hill, Academy Award winner, but come on, Rob, go to the director and say no, we're not doing that. Like, Anyways.
Neil McDonough? Is that what I'm thinking of?
You're fact checking me. If you got it with that, either I'm a really good. That's him.
Is that him?
That is him, man. So I'm either really good at describing, or you're really good at figuring out
right.
puzzles.
He always plays the bad guy. And,
yep.
Yeah. Short blonde hair. That's how I could think of it. Because he was in like Walking Tall with The Rock and stuff.
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of them. Yeah. He's always like, you're like, oh, that guy. Like, yeah, I would never have known his name, but yeah, it's crazy you figured it out though. Yeah, that's the guy. So he's kind of a part timer in it, but yeah, he's a state patrolman, and it's like, yeah.
I watched Old School was on Paramount the other night, so I watched it. Dude, it's crazy after like the guy from Suits is in there. You don't realize a lot of these actors were like, that's basically where they started, was that movie.
Really? In Old School?
Yeah, he was pledging for the fraternity.
Wait, the guy from what show?
Suits.
Is he the kid lawyer that gets hired on?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in there.
And there's a couple of other guys I saw. But it's crazy seeing those older movies, and it's like, you see newer stuff with those guys in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, when you see cameos, like, and you're like, what the... what movie was it? Is it Little Fockers that has Kevin Hart as a nurse or something? I can't remember, but there's one of the Fokker movies that Kevin Hart's in it, and I was like, what? And I was like, is that his first movie? Like, he's just got a small cameo,
right?
And then and I was talking to Dan, and Dan's like, no, he was in the Scream movie too, and I was like, what? He was like, yeah, that's his first movie.
Oh shit!
I never went back and watched that one, but yeah, it's pretty crazy when you see him cameo like that.
Right.
And especially when they're like a headline actor and you see him in such a small role.
Right.
And what was the other one? I watched that I never even realized, because Ferris Bueller's Day Off was huge. Like when we were kids, like the reruns were, but like they'd always show the movie again. But yeah, I didn't even realize Charlie Sheen was in it until watching his documentary, and they showed that scene like where he's sitting there. Yeah, and so it's like, yeah, you just don't even. It's pretty crazy, like, because when you're watching them, they're not big, so you just don't know who they are. Yeah, no, it is crazy. But yeah, some of them, man, like, oh man, Old School, Step Brothers, like, man, Tommy Boy, like, some of those comedies, just like, man, you still laugh. Like 20 years later, you turn it on, you still laugh. I don't really like. Okay, so well, let me ask you this one. And Will doesn't watch movies, so he wouldn't have answered this anyways. But
he didn't know what glory was either.
Yeah, guy. I'm so glad we got rid of his ass. But like, I don't want to. You're probably gonna laugh. You're probably gonna be like, "Whatever, dude, you're high." But okay, so Adam Sandler. Like, I think he's extremely talented. Like, I love his movies. But, like, I would say Grown Ups might be up there with movies that I rewatch. But, like, his corny, like, first movies, like Mr. Deeds or, what's the other ones? Happy
Big
Gilmore,
Daddy.
Billy Madison. Yeah, Big Daddy. Big Daddy was okay. But there's not a lot of his movies where if they're on, I'm going to be like, oh, I would rewatch this. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
I don't like his movies are like really funny when you first watch them. Some of his like what are they called? Rom-coms? Like 50 First Dates and stuff like that. Like, those are classics that like you'll watch. But like some of his like stupid comedy that he first came out with, I just don't find very funny anymore. Like, but some people do. Like, some people still love like his original movies. Like, I don't know.
No,
but
yeah, I feel the same way, but I think like with Grown Ups, you can rewatch it because I feel like him, Kevin J, David Spade, they're all just fucking going off script a lot of the times in that movie,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's probably. I think you're right. Like, Grown Ups, I think is more of like the surrounding cast
Right.
than it is just Adam Sandler. I mean, like when David is it? Wait, no, Rob Schneider when his daughters come.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
They're
And then the
sitting in
last
the
one's
chairs.
like, yeah, the last one's all hairy and yeah, that was so funny. But
No.
yeah, those are great. Those ones are great movies. But yeah, man, it's like yeah, but some of those comedies just hold the test of time. Like you know like I say, I can't really think of any more off the top of my head, but This Is the End is still one of my
Yeah.
favorites. Just there again, so many
The
good
cast.
actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, or comedians, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, they they literally have everybody in it, and but
But I mean, movies now. I mean, they're just not. There's hardly any good movies coming out nowadays. I feel. There's just.
mm-hmm. No, it's a shame. I don't see theaters being around for very much longer.
I mean, shit.
But-
You can rent the movies, that are in theaters on Prime nowadays.
Well, and the biggest problem is they're not even coming out to theaters anymore
Right.
because either they're going straight to streaming or they just aren't because like me and you joked about this the other day. Like we still have our Cinemark reward
Yeah.
program because it's like $8 a month, but you get a $13 movie ticket per month. So it's like, why cancel it, right? I mean, you're literally getting a movie ticket for half the price, and then 20% off concessions or whatever. But it's like, so I guess where I'm going with this is like every month or two, like I'll look through the movies. There hasn't been a good movie. I mean, the last 2 or 3 years has been horrific. Like, you're literally just, if you're going to the theater, you're probably seeing something you don't even want to see. You're just going just to go, and that's a problem.
Movie I saw was just Super Mario,
Yeah,
but and I actually kind of like that one.
I don't even know the last one I went to. I went. I gave the girls 2 of my free tickets to go see something when they were home for winter break in December. But yeah, I mean, I don't even. I think I got like 8 movie tickets. I think you said you have like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And well, yours is more because you're out of away from the theaters. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I got a theater like 6 minutes down the road, and I can't. There's nothing that I want to go see, and it's a huge problem. It's like, man, how sad is that? First it was drive-ins. Think about that. First it was drive-ins. Everybody was so excited to go to the drive-in, but they just wasn't bringing enough money. And now movie theaters, and like you're just gonna be.
I mean,
Like,
shit,
are we-
yeah. And then when they came out with IMAX or XD, that was the shit back, And
Yeah,
now that's obsolete now. I mean, it's just
yeah,
they got the reclining chairs, but fuck, you have that shit at home too. You just recline.
Yep.
It's a hell of a lot cheaper.
yeah.
I know we joke about it like, oh shit, $20 to rent a movie that's still in theaters. But I mean, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than actually going to the theater and watching it. If you.
Yeah, especially if you don't have 8 free movie tickets in your
Right.
bank, Yeah, no, it is. I mean, see now I can't justify to do that. Like, so like I wait at
Right.
least until it's to rent for like $3.99 or $4.99, whatever, $5.99, whatever Amazon is. But I can't drive myself to pay $20 if I can wait a month and watch it for cheaper or even free. Sometimes they go straight to Prime,
Right.
Prime free. But yeah, I mean, but you're right though. Like if you like, say I had the kids here, and we were talking about going to see a movie, and if I paid $20 and I rent it, and I'm watching on our 65-inch in the privacy of our home, where we can pause it if we need to use the bathroom or whatever. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than going to the theater.
Yeah, and you still have your free movie tickets, but you're still buying fucking popcorn and soap pop and fucking hot dogs and shit. I mean, it's still gonna cost a lot of money to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, it kind of sucks because like it's just like I said, it's just like it's just one more thing that's kind of driving us towards doing everything from our houses. You know, like so many people still work from home, even though they've brought a lot of people back to work, but still a lot of people that work from home. Like everything is geared towards being at home. Like, and it it it's it can be great, but it also can be, I don't know,
You know, back
be a
in the
little
day,
claustrophobic.
you know, back in the day, you have mom get you a PG-13 movie ticket, and then you're sneaking into rated R movies. You know,
I never did that. Yeah.
that was just me then.
Hmm. Yeah, I never did the whole sneaking in thing. Um, I would say when I was that age and I was old enough, like they just sell us the rated R tickets. You want to know what's funny is I only got caught on that one time, and it wasn't even me. So I was this was when I was still married, and it was my ex-wife's. What is that when it's a half brother? It's the brother. It's not brother-in-law. It's a stepbrother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. Anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
So he was younger, and we wanted to go see 8 Mile, and
Oh,
and so he was like 16, and I was like, I don't know, 18 or 19, and it was rated R, and so I didn't think anything of it. I mean, I'm an adult. I'm slinging a freaking hammer at work, like I'm a construction worker. I'm like, oh yeah. So we get up there. I buy the tickets, and then we go to go in, and they're like, "Where's his ID?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Where's his ID?" And I'm like, "He's with me. He doesn't need an ID." And they're like, I'm like, "He's with an adult." And they're like, "Are you his parent?" And I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "I'm his brother." And they're like, "No, it needs to be a parent." Like, they're really, like, they were messing with me, man. And, like, he's like, it's cool. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, I mean, I'm raising the scene. I'm pissed. And, yeah, that was the only time, like, but when I was younger, like, we used to buy rated, like, they never check. Like, we'd go buy the rated R tickets and just go in. Like, but I never did, like, the double feature thing where, like, you'd buy a ticket and then sneak into another theater. Like, I would always buy the other ticket secretly and like put it in my pocket and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a rebel, but I really had a ticket. Like, so like I'd be the one guy, like if they came in and caught us, and I'd be like, no, I'm good. But
because I feel like security back then, they'd always walk around with their wands pretty often. But nowadays
they would.
But nowadays you don't even see anybody walking throughout the.
Yeah. And that was tough too, because like back, like if you think about it, that was back before they had assigned seats too. Right. So, you know, they would like they would sell the tickets, and if that theater was maxed out, and then there's like 5 people standing around, they'd be like, okay, something's wrong. And then think about it, like they'd probably have to go through that entire theater and be like, and remember how uncomfortable that was too, like because the seats weren't like real big or anything, so like you're like in airplane seats and you're like bumping elbows with the guy next to you, and like. And then, like, because it was first come, first serve, so, like, you go in there and there's only one seat in the middle. Like, you'd have to jockey through all these people to get to it. Like, what a mess, man. I will say that when theaters started going to assigned seats, that, like, people always use the term, like, better than sliced bread. Like, man, that was so much better than what they had before. Like,
they should have had that. Even without the recliners, they should have had the sign.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, because like I said, like if you got a family of 5 and you get there a few minutes late, you're like all over the place, you know. Yeah. Then you're asking people, can you like move so I can? Yeah, it's just a mess. But I guess we won't have to worry about that anymore.
No.
Once the old theaters close up. But yeah. So any good movies on? I saw that there was 3 new movies going to Paramount, but I don't know if that's like new movies or.
I know. What was the name of that one I told you about? The Kevin James one.
Balls Up. I watched that. That was good.
Oh, the Mark Wahlberg one, yeah. No,
that
Kevin James had a new one out. Where he plays like
where he's like the assassin or yeah, that was pretty good too. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, Balls Up, that was pretty good. That was pretty funny.
I got one. I got one we could talk about. So I was like, this is gonna be kind of boring, but I guess we can close with it. How much time we got? We got about 10 minutes.
You got about 10 minutes.
So, I was thinking about like how the housing economy has gone, like from being somewhat affordable to like not. And it's funny because everybody always says, "Oh, if I would have bought back then, I would have been so good," or whatever. And so I started doing some math. I like my math.
Yep.
So, so let's talk about housing prices, and there's kind of a correlation that goes along with it. Now, these are the federal median prices, and these are also the federal median wages. So, obviously, if you live in Washington, like I do, the minimum wages are way higher, and housing prices are way higher. But I think this gives us a pretty good idea, because the problem with the housing market is, I would say I would go out on a wild limb and say right now the way houses are priced, that it is priced out about 70% of single people that have a decent maybe a mid decent paying job or less. And everybody's like, oh, it's normal, it's inflation. It gradually goes up. Well, it doesn't gradually go up. Like if you look at the percentages, so let's just go through this. So from 1970 to 1980, like I said, these are the median housing prices across
For the nation.
the U.S. Yeah. So 70 to 80, it went from $26,000 to $80,000. Huge hike in housing prices, 207% to be exact. So 207% increase. That is by far the biggest percentage that we've ever had. 80 to 90, 80,000 to 145,500, 81%.
Okay.
90 to 2000, 72%. 2000 to 2010, 37%. That's the lowest. That is also in part from the 2008 housing bubble. We took a huge correction in there.
Yeah, that's right.
So we would have more than likely been around 60, 70% as well. 2010 to 2020, 45%. And then obviously 20 to 25 is not a 10-year window. So we're on pace for 56%. Okay? So just keep that in mind. 207, 81, 72, 37, 45, 56. Okay? Here's the wage increases. From 70 to 80, the federal minimum wage went from $1.80 to $3.10, 72% increase. That doesn't even touch the 207% increase in housing prices, no. Right? So the housing prices is outpacing the minimum wage. Yeah. Okay, 80 to 90, 23%. Still way lower than 81% in the housing. 90 to 2000, 35%. 72% is housing. Right? So now so you got to think about this. If you're thinking about it in percentages, like the longer it's taken us, like is the more that we're going down at each interval, the worse that gap is getting, right? Like it's getting bigger and bigger. Where did I leave off? 2010, 41%. And then here's the kicker. 2010 till now has been at 725. Now I will say that that different states like California is $16.10, right. Washington is $15. So there has been increases there, right. But I will tell you that the housing, as we know, has skyrocketed as well. We're not looking at a 50%, 56% increase. And so, like, what's funny is I keep telling people, like, how can we outprice the housing market, and how can we expect like our kids or our grandkids to be able to buy at these prices? And everybody's like, oh, well, it's always been that way. Yeah, but it's not a good trend. It's like we're trending in the wrong direction. If your minimum wage is not allowing you to buy your necessities, and here's the problem too is the I mean, I can tell you I'm 42 years old, and I can tell you that when I went to the grocery store at the age of 20, and what I can buy now for the same amount is like, I probably went from like 7 bags of groceries down to 1 with the same amount of money. And the problem is it's not normal. And like I know none of this is Will's point of view. Point of view, right? Oh, I don't want to make him mad, but I will say this: tariffs and stuff like that have really increased items, and I don't want to take away from that because it's obviously plays a big role in this all. But for the last 50, 60, going on 60 years, the minimum wage has not kept up with the demand, with like the minimum price for the housing market. And so what is happening, and I think you would agree, Jared, is a lot of people are buying these houses and they're buying them as like group investments. And so like you look at the new housing development near where we're at, or where you used to be at, and there's like 20 freaking cars for one house. And the problem is to buy a $700,000 home, you gotta be paying like, I don't know, probably $5,000 a month, maybe more. That's just a ballpark number. Nobody in their right mind can afford. I can't afford that. Like, and I make a pretty good living. I mean, and so what's happening is people are like teaming up for these, and it's like you used to have. Trying to think. You used to have like everybody, certain people would struggle with their mortgage or whatever, and then you'd have a divorce and everything would like collapse, and then you'd lose your house. Like, it's hard. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's hard enough with 1 or 2 people. Like, can you imagine if you have like 4 or 5 people depending on that house for that payment and that income for that household, and one person gets fired or laid off, or
they can't afford
even 2 people. Yeah, and like if it's a son and daughter and their parents all providing for that house, and I was just talking with a friend about it. Older brother of a friend we know. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but anyways, I was chatting with him last weekend when I stopped by, and he's like the writing's on the wall. The hard part is like I've been talking about this since 2020. And it still hasn't happened, but we're at a stalemate right now. And I have a feeling that we're in for a nightmare of a correction. Because think about those numbers I just said. If we keep on this route and the minimum wage does not either A, go up high enough to cover the housing cost, or B, the housing cost come down to get to a point to where are now like my kids, your kid, like to where they can afford houses, there's gonna be a massive like event where I mean, and I hate to say it, everybody's like, oh yeah, well, where's your facts to back that up? There's just no way. Right now we're on pace for my kids when they graduate college to have to pay to live here in Washington. What I don't know, we're about $900,000. Like how? And then rent doesn't get too far off from that.
No, right.
Rent's not far behind, and so because in rent, you're pretty much asking them to make your payment for you. So, anyways, it's gonna be it's a huge deal. I don't know.
I know me personally, single guy. I can't afford to buy a house on my single income. Like, am I gonna be stuck renting, the rest of my life, or it's just kind of. It is. It's crazy how much compared to house prices compared to your salary.
Yeah, no, and I think that they've done dirty like the last few years too, because the thing that hit us with the 2008 bubble was the 5-year arms and 10-year arms, and they're like, I mean, like how is that even possible that they would give you a loan that you literally just pay on the interest and you don't pay anything on the principal? Like, think about that. If you buy a house for $400,000 in 5 years, you haven't paid anything on that, you still owe for it. Like, that is so crazy. And they're like, oh, well, you just refinance. And I think that's honestly why they're trying to drive the prices down, for the interest rates. They came out last weekend, or not last weekend. It was a few weekends ago. I was watching something on YouTube and on the news, and they said, and I can't remember who it was, so forgive me for not having the actual facts in front of me, but some government with the housing market came out. I don't know which jurisdiction, but came out and said that there's a nightmare with the notes that we have right now for the loans, and yeah, I mean, that's what you get. And so, like, if you are literally strapped paying on a 5-year arm, and you're solely waiting on the interest rates to go down, because if you don't have any equity in your house, then the only things that you can do is hope for a lower interest rate to refinance. That's the only thing that's going to allow you to refinance. And I guess what I'm saying is, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that we're going to have a combination of, this war is really screwing with our economy right now, and I think we're going to have a lot more layoffs than we've already seen. I think we're going to be hitting in the next year or two a lot of these 5-year arms up, and not to mention a lot of these households that are relying on 4 incomes. I mean, just who knows what can happen? What if your son or daughter and their spouse is living with you, and they're like, we want our own place, or we're moving out, like, whatever conditions can arise. And I think the next year or two is going to be pretty dramatic. But I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, and I don't want to be all gloomy, but it's pretty sad. Like, I just don't think it's sustainable at the level we're at. But anyways, yeah, I guess we did, well, we kind of struggled. We didn't have our A game today, but we definitely talked about interest rates and stuff. So hopefully, Will, if you're watching this, screw you. Yeah. Should we spend like 5 minutes just talking shit about him and see if he like?
We should.
What if we called him like a wimpy little muscleless bastard? He does get a little. But what if we said that his chest looks small? Or his biceps look like they were sagging. Yeah, those biceps were sagging a little bit. Yeah. He needs to work out more.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Do you even lift, bro?
Yeah. Like, let's be honest. Like, is he working out anymore? I mean, it's not really showing. Yeah, that's a good send off. Now we'll actually see if he watches the show or not. So we love you. We love you all. I know. We still love you all.
We still love you.
Even if we did fire your ass. And we should probably talk about that real quick too before we go. Just a minute. Yeah. So, how can we say this without getting in trouble? We just will. We had to fire Will for a cause that we can't really talk about, but we are very embarrassed by. And if it comes out on Twitter or Facebook or X. Okay, if it comes out on X, or even if you Google it and it shows up, just know that we do not condone that behavior. Are we allowed to say that? I think we're allowed to say that.
We can say that.
Okay. So, Andre, if you could clip this one and put this on as a short. Yeah.
Drop a comment. Drop a like.
Subscribe.
Did
we do it all? I mean, I feel like we did all right. I feel like I can go weed whip now, and I feel like I did okay.
I mean, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, so if you just hit subscribe.
And if you did find our show and you're new to it, thank you for watching.
And welcome.
Yeah. So
you'll see us every week.
Yep. And if you happen to drive by Will and you see him walking his dog, I won't tell you where because I won't give his location. But if you happen to see him out walking his dog, make sure to tell him he looks like he's losing a little weight and losing a little muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll appreciate that. All right. Well, thanks everybody.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.